Greetings. So check this out. About a month ago, we had a power outage in the area. And unfortunately, the UPS system that I had that was supposed to protect my computer and some of my other technical stuff failed. I'd had it for about 6 years, and it just failed. When the power went out, everything went out. And that's not what's supposed to happen with a UPS system. I had a battery backup in it that was supposed to keep things running for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And everything just popped. I had a whole bunch of stuff that I hadn't saved, and I lost it all. Luckily, it wasn't anything super important, but it was still irksome. So I go to the store and I buy a new UPS system. And it's got a power system where it's supposed to last up to 25 minutes. So, okay, that sounds pretty good. So I hooked that bad boy up, and of all the weird things, the next morning, the power goes out in the area again. This time, however, it had charged up, so the power stayed on long enough for me to come in and shut down the computer and shut down my monitor, and everything worked out, okay. Then the next morning at 8 o'clock, it starts beeping. And it's this weird beeping pattern. I've never heard it before. I never heard it with my other UPS systems. I thought, okay, that's just, maybe it's some anomaly. And it basically did that for 2 weeks. I had the paperwork, and I'm looking it up in the paperwork, and I don't see anything that mentions that kind of beeping. I go online to do research, which is something I will do, because my first thought is always to try to fix something, and nothing mentioned anything like that. So I said, that's just so weird. Why is it doing that? I couldn't figure it out. I kept trying to test it with different things and went to see that I hooked the battery in properly. I had no clue. And like I said, I was trying to figure out a fix for it. And one of my friends said, why don't you take it back? Something had never occurred to me. I rarely take anything back. So I'd never thought about it. So I call up the store. They say, yep, bring it back. So I take it back. Now, the thing is, because it was going off the exact same time every morning, I was able to record it one morning. Not from the very beginning, but pretty much after it just started. So I've got the recording of it. I go to the store. The guy is going to let me swap it out. And he says, by the way, do you want to upgrade? I said, wait, I can do that? He says, sure, you can upgrade to this one here. It only costs you $22. Let's do that. So I upgrade to a better UPS system. By the way, that's called uninterrupted power supply. It protects your stuff, in case you didn't know that. So anyway, now I've got up to 35 minutes. That's even cooler. So I bring it home. I hook everything up. I'm thinking, okay, I got this down. Didn't we have another power outage in the area? I don't know. It's always in the same place. I know that because I look out my front window and I saw where the trucks were going. So I had another power outage, and it still protected everything. I said, okay, this is good. I'm happy with it. But the next morning, the alarm went off again. I said, what is the deal with these UPS systems from the exact same company? This makes no sense whatsoever. Still, the morning after that, it went off. Only this time, I wasn't in my office. I was in the bathroom with my mother. And I'm hearing this thing. And I said, wait a minute. How can I be hearing this way out here? This doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't be able to hear this, but I heard it. And there was nothing I could do about it. And I said, God, am I going to have to call these people again and, swap another one? This makes no sense, the same brand. The next morning, I happened to be in the living room early with my mother. I'd gotten her cleaned up and whatever, got her ready because it was the day she was going to be going to adult daycare for the day. And the alarm starts going off, but it's going off in the living room. I said, wait a minute. How's the alarm going off in the living room? The UPS system is in my office. And it turns out that it wasn't the UPS system that was going off. It was the electric clock that I have sitting in there. I have the exact same clock in my office. And I had forgotten that sometimes when the power goes off for a long period of time, because one of those power outages actually went out for about 45 minutes, it resets the entire clock and turns the alarm back on, whether you've turned it off or not. So it's possible that I was hearing the alarm in two different places, because sometimes I heard it while I was in the master bedroom, and I would hear the alarm and I would just sit there and ignore it without actually paying attention to where it was. But when I was in my office, of course, I heard it. So I thought, how weird is that? So that's what it was. When I came into the office, sure enough, it was set. The alarm was set to go off. So it turned out that it was a totally different problem than what I thought it was. And of course, I had a good laugh about it. I fixed both clocks. Haven't had that problem since. The power company has finally fixed this power outage thing that we had. It happened 4 different times. Luckily, the last 3 didn't last all that long, but still, exact same place. Haven't had it happen again. So you're probably wondering, why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story because quite often, leaders find out that there's a problem and they go in to try to fix the problem. And the problem doesn't get fixed. And they will sit there trying it over again. And then eventually either they or someone else realizes, hey, you know, that's not what the problem is. Maybe that's what we think it is because that would seem to make sense because it's right there in front of us. But that's not where the problem is. And you feel like an idiot because you're thinking, why didn't I think of all these things instead of keep trying to fix the exact same thing without any success? You know, that's one of those things in leadership where you don't have all the answers, but you have other people to kind of help you. And you've got to trust other people and hope that they will share something that they think it is. And then you can go and see if maybe they're right. Because you know what? You're not going to be right all the time. Hopefully you'll be right most of the time, but you're not going to be right all the time. And I think that's a valuable leadership lesson. You know, get the help from others. Have someone else come in and say, what do you think of this? If you can duplicate the issue. Especially if everything you're doing doesn't fix it. Because everything has a fix. Even if the fix is you call in someone from the company and you have them fix it. Or if it's an alarm clock that's going off instead of your UPS system. Goodness. Anyway, that's what I have for today. My name is Mitch Mitchell. Hope you all like this kind of thing. You let me know. I'll talk to you later.